In 1954, they tried moving the statue, the ropes broke and the statue fell on the floor really hard and the shell chipped off. They realized this statue was 5.5 ton of gold. This is exactly what is happening right now with the people of Orion. Some may ask why we should care about our past identities instead of simply claiming our power back if our spiritual powers are universal energies. It's exactly like the statue, it's not that easy to build a 5.5 ton gold statue. You can try. No, an aragonite pendant doesn't count. Out of these 102,462 Orion souls, 52% are currently incarnated, 53,280, 16% are inactive, don't want anything to do with anything, and 32% are working from behind the veil. Most don't know this about themselves. I personally only know about it since very recently, and recovered 67% of my powers and memories since the trip to China. Here's where the incarnated Orion souls are spread around the world. They generally are the most spiritually evolved souls in this world, and tend to gather in the same environments. China, 54.2% USA, 17.8% India, 7.9% England, 3.9% Canada, 3.8% rest of Asia, 3.2% Western Europe, 2.3% Eastern Europe, 1.7% South America, 1.3% Australia, 1.3% Mexico, 1.1% Central America, 0.8% Russia, 0.4% Africa, 0.3%. After Homo sapiens had been created, they were pretty much in the hands of the Syrian lords, they were owned by their creators. Although the lords were patriarchal and in rebellion against the goddess, they let the early humans know that the goddess is the creator of the universe and that she needs to be worshipped through rituals and sacred sex. In the beginning, only certain hand-picked humans were allowed to have sacred sex with Syrian men present, trying to steal the power of the female orgasm when it happened between two humans of opposite sex. Others, like the famous Enki, or Ea, suggested against his half-brother Nammer's, the Enlil, decision and let humans have unlimited sex, but still under supervision and in honor of the goddess, in order to make the rituals more powerful, not because he was matriarchal. After the patriarchs had accepted E's way of doing things in regards to controlling human sexuality, the Syrians started infiltrating shamanism and replaced the female shaman with a male, and from there on the purpose of, and the original results from shamanism have disappeared from our Western societies and most of the rest of the world. Although male shamans can open up portals as well, they can't accumulate the Ka and reuse it in the sense a trained female shaman can. In Orion, for example, the female is born to be in the center, and the males are there to protect and support her. It's deeply rooted into their culture. Albeit, this is not merely an Orion trait, it has become my understanding that this is very common in the universe, at least in cultures who have genders not all extraterrestrial cultures do. We are going to talk a lot about the Orion Empire in these papers, because it has had such an enormous influence on humanity from our cradle up to adolescence, which is where we are now. The extraterrestrial societies of Orion are in honor of the Mother Goddess, and have known for a long time that the universe is feminine in nature. Their opponents is the patriarchal regime, which is led by the lords from Sirius, and unfortunately, we humans here on Earth have been caught in the middle of this ancient struggle between matriarchs and patriarchs. The Orion Empire is a matriarchal society, where everything centers on a queen, who is said to be the multidimensional representative of the Mother Goddess, but it is not a matriarchal regime from how I have had it described, because it does not exclude the male from the picture. It is clearly understood by all races who subscribe to the religion of the Orion Empire, that the universe is feminine and that males and females work together to achieve their goals to assist the goddess in her creation. So now you know more about me and my ET heritage. In the previous video you saw I was from the Orion side of the divide. Patriarch in harmony with matriarchy. The current attack on the matriarch is a complex control system. Some say the Orion Empire is draconian and patriarch but is really a matriarchy. The first level of learning, from here on called, Level 1, Def discussed the Anunnaki, who came down to Earth and started the patriarchal regime, which culminated with the biblical patriarchs but has followed us up to present time. Although we see more women in power today than we did a couple of 100 years ago and more, men are still the ones who rule this world and the women in higher position are just working out of men's principles. On Earth, men have filled the highest echelons of power for thousands of years. Women who reach top position are still subjected to a man-dominated worldview and are simply females executing male policies. So, yes, I admit a lot of what is happening on Earth my own bloodline is responsible for, but humans must understand extraterrestrial culture and respect the principles, otherwise all else is lost. I can't always unfortunately explain something with a video, however modern technology is upgrading, it seems there's much to come and be excited for.